Grenada.
Grenada!
Get ready for something new as Project 413 presents North Pole Festival of Lights.
It's Festival of Lights, the official launch.
Come here, my baby. Come, let me show you nice.
Saturday, December 9th, the Breakwater Project in Sates will be lit. We're lighting up the Breakwater Project. The lights will be on from 6:30 p.m. and runs every night for the entire month. Come enjoy the amazing light show together with live performance by Boise, Valine, Crave, Lunispark, Electrify, and more.
Come enjoy the Octane Band and the Alpha 1 Band.
Showtime 9 p.m. Admission only $25. Weekdays absolutely free. The lights will be on display every night and there will be live performances every weekend.
Festival of Lights, the official launch.
Saturday, December 9th, the Breakwater Beach, downtown Sates. See you there.
Now, are you ready for an exhilarating adventure? Then look no further than Ride Excursions and Tours. Get ready to explore the great outdoors like never before with our powerful e-bikes. Discover breathtaking sightseeing tours around the island. Feel the wind in your hair and experience nature in its purest form. Now, whether you're a seasoned rider or a beginner, our e-bikes are perfect for everyone. Call us at 473-422-1011 to book your excursion or visit ridersebikes.com. That's ridersebike.com to reserve your spot. Unleash your adventurous spirit with Ride Excursions and Tours, where every journey becomes an unforgettable adventure.
Yeah. Welcome to Ride Along Live for today. Ouch. Mike is shocking me. Shocking experience. How you guys doing? Welcome, and welcome, guys. Today, we are here and awaiting connection with our host because we are here to talk about two things, really. We published this earlier on Ride Along Live where Sean and Lyndon, both hailing from St. Andrews, these two young men have gone missing at sea. And, you know, we made a pass through Grenville today and we got a chance to meet with very close friends, some family members as they expressed their grave concern. And sad, because I remember being in Grenada not too long ago when we had a similar situation where two young men went missing, again, at sea. So it's of grave concern. So we did, in fact, made connection to talk to some of the folks, Mikey Noel, and some of the folks who are on the ground there in Grenada. Let me make sure. Yeah, all right. I just wanted to make sure that you guys could hear me. Yeah, so we did in fact make connections while we were on the ground there in Grenada, and Telescope to be precise, as they sent out a number of search teams to try to locate these young men. Now, at present, guys, yeah, it's crazy, right? Too much missing at sea. They have to be some kind of mechanism. Now, at present, we are yet to connect with our guest who is going to be coming on and giving us the latest update on these missing young men. Now, I must caution anticipation that this update may not necessarily mean that they found these young men. As last that I found out, these young men are still listed as missing, right? But as I said, there are a bunch of search teams that is out there right now and searching. So in the meantime, we're going to wait until we get connection with Mikey and the crew, Mikey Noel, and the crew down there in Telescope, or if anyone that is in Telescope in Grenville area that could give us that update, please feel free to call in. Again, guys, we are reporting here of the missing young men, the two missing young men in the Grenville area, St. Andrews area. Both Sean and Lyndon both hail from St. Andrews has gone missing. The family, of course, as you could imagine, is well worried, as they continue to embark on a search. This is still considered a search and rescue situation because there are, at this point, no updates on anything relating to these young men. So we're going to keep the lines open and at the same time ask if anyone that have information, even folks in neighboring islands, because oftentimes you might see something happen. It doesn't mean that it's a tragedy where someone is hurt, but it might mean that the wave might be taking them to a specific area that might lead them to another country. Now, this program is viewed far and wide throughout St. Vincent and the Grenadines, Trinidad and Tobago, even Guyana, folks in Guyana, and as far up as you could go. So we're reaching out and asking if anyone see that vessel and these young men to please report it. You could call us live on the program or please report it to the family. And at the same time, again, as I was saying, guys, we are waiting on a report from Mikey and the folks in Grenville on the absolute latest from their search. They were out earlier today, a bunch of teams, as I said, and they are still out there making their way back probably earlier and just putting the pieces together and information and sorting out information to give us that update. So I urge you to stick and stay for that. Now, in the meantime, and as we wait on that update, I want to deal with something that we touched on earlier today, guys. And until we do that, let's talk about the things that are just really pissing off a lot of people. One of the things, two things I want to talk about specifically, what's pissing me off. Now, why is it so difficult, right, for whether it's administratively or whether it is independently, individually? Why is it so difficult to have some kind of tracking system? Some kind of tracking system that would help identify situations when small crafts, small boats, fishing vessel go missing. Why is it so difficult? Is it so difficult to have some kind of GPS tracking system, right? GPS tracking system. That means that even if the individual, the little craft, don't have internet access and they cannot get data on their phone, but they could be identified at a particular place. Why is it so difficult for that to happen? I mean, because we're seeing it so much times. And you know those young men that go out to fish sometimes, that is their living. They do this to support themselves. They do this to support their family, right? That's what they do. And it's a big income earner as well for the country. And whenever we have situation like that, could you imagine the family and what they are going through? A day or so, day and a half or so, few hours, and they're yet to locate those young men that are missing. This is not the first time we're seeing this, you know. This is not even the second time. This happens a lot. So why is the problem? How difficult would it be to have a small GPS tracker? Let me tell you how simple this thing is, guys. Let me tell you how simple this thing is. I have a AirTag, right? A AirTag. And believe you me, even if I lost my bag, or I'd left my bag in an area, I could track that bag where that bag is at any given point in time, right? And it doesn't necessarily have to have data access. It pings. And probably AirTag is not the best because AirTag still rely on some kind of data. But we're talking about lives of young people. We're talking about lives of people. Why is it so difficult? Why is it so difficult administratively to say, okay, guys, for all the vessels that's going out, you have to have this little piece of satellite tracking device on your boat, on your person. And it's not too much to ask for or to purchase or to obtain, because it is about lives. So guys, let's talk about this first and foremost. Right? Let's talk about this and foremost. Can we go through this again, similar to a situation that happened a few months ago? Because I remember sitting with this father, right? The father of this young man. The last time that it happened. And the father, let me put on this clip right here. And the father of this young man that was on the boat the last time that it happened. By the way, this is a clip of Telescope Beach area. So Grenville is in the lower part. Grenville Show, the fishing area, is in the lower part of where you're watching right now. But that's where I was today in the Telescope area. Now the father of these young men, the last time that it happened, that man ain't getting no sleep. That father was basically sitting by the port from the morning to the evening, and he never went home. He never left. He never, for days, right? So I'm thinking somebody, some kind of alarm bell should go off in somebody's head and say, ding, 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 this happened far too often. Something needs to be done. Let me know what you guys think about this. Me and my colleague was talking about the small craft when they got lost. Exactly, guys. So this is happening, and this has been happening, and this is not the first time. So that's pissing me off. Why can't this be done? What is hindering having some kind of satellite tracking system on small vessels? Now, if it is already administered, if it's already there, pardon my ignorance at this point in time. But this, if that was the case, then we could have pinpointed these guys if they was having problems if they was in Trinidad right now and just sailing, or just, the tide is just, pushing them one direction or the other. We'll be able to send a rescue team to that specific location and find those men. But we have rescue teams going in each direction, not knowing where to look, because the ocean is vast. The ocean is not like it's a little piece of ocean that we just go left, and when you reach there, make a right turn or what. The ocean is big. The ocean is massive. You have to start. Okay, Val saying they have to start with no boats should leave without reporting it. No, I'm not saying that they don't have that, because they probably do have a system at the Grenville jetty, where most of the boats that came in there with their catch. I'm sure that they have a system. And probably someone from the Grenville area could call me and update me on that while we wait on an official statement or report from some of the guys who was on the search today. I'm sure that they have some kind of system in place that when you're leaving, you register your boat number, because I'm thinking at least the boats should have some kind of registration, and I believe that they do, so that you know who is out and who is in. And when you come in, then there is some kind of check-in system. I'm sure that they have that. I'm sure that they have that, right? But what I'm saying is having a tracking system on those small vessels, have that as a mandatory component of your fishing expedition. Have that as something that everyone should have. It's mandatory. And whether it's something that could be financed, something that is simple, something that could be used, so we don't have to go through this every couple months. Guys, again, we are looking and reporting of an incident, a report of two young men missing at sea since yesterday. I got the information from Kareem. He stated as his brothers, I've been trying to call Kareem for the whole day, but I was unsuccessful in finding out any additional information. But you could imagine that everyone associated and the family members, they are torn apart. They are in tears because they just don't know. And the worst thing about this, the worst thing about anything like this, guys, is because uncertainty, the fear of the unknown. You don't know what's happening. You don't know where they are. Now it's going to be night. It's night time here in Grenada again. And no word on their whereabouts. And oftentimes you have to ask yourself, when those fisher folks go out there at sea, How many reserve that they actually have in terms of food now? Food and drinks and water and stuff like that. How many reserve do they actually take on board with them? How much reserve do they actually have? So in case of something were to happen, they have like a survival bag or something like that. And that might have some bread or crackers or whatever, water, fresh drinking water at least. Something that could contain them for a good few couple days. Because I can't imagine, I should say, being adrift. And we don't know that that is what's happening right now. We only could speculate. We don't know what the situation is. Now, I remember speaking to Mikey earlier. And Mikey is very involved was very involved in finding out about the search crew that's out there. He said that, and that's unconfirmed reports, right? That's unconfirmed reports. He said that another boat was leaving, coming back, and I guess those guys, he saw that particular boat, and they had a big catch of one of those big fish. I forget the name of the fish that he told me, some Marley something fish. But anyway, a big fish that most times when you hook that fish behave like a mad cow, right? If anybody know the name of the fish, put it in the chat there. So Mikey was telling me from the updates that he got earlier today, those guys came upon this big catch and they was pulling that big catch away. And Mikey was showing me instances of these videos of what happens to this fish when it's caught in a hook. The fish does flap up and flip up and kick up and like a mad cow, a mullet. Mullet? No, not a mullet. A marlin. Marlin, that is it. A marlin. The marlin, it has this long beak, right? This long beak, and I swear the marlin behave like when you see a mad cow with with rabies, and you show it that red clot, and how the cow does rush behind you and try to like knock you out of the face of the earth. That's how the marlins and them behave. They come and they just, and they could sing boats. So he was showing me videos of how this marlin does behave. Right? Yeah, he was showing me videos of how this marlins does behave. How they just flip up and flap up. And in one instant that I saw, the marlin, this guy caught the marlin and he was wheeling it in, and the marlin jump up and flip up. And the marlin with his long beak, right, came upon the boat like this, flipping and flapping like this, and he pierced the guy. And that's not this case. Okay, so that's not this particular story here. It pierced that boat owner straight through his mouth, and the beak, it almost killed the guy. This particular marlin, right, or this particular fish is said to be a rough and rugged fish that could sink a boat. So Mikey was telling me, Noel from Telescope was saying that the friends that was there that last saw that particular boat, they were pulling in a marlin. They was wheeling in a marlin. Yeah. Yeah, so they was pulling in a marlin. And Mikey was saying, if you don't handle this thing properly, if you don't handle the marlin and them properly, the marlin and them could sink your boat. Because especially if you have a small boat again. And when the marlin and them come in your boat, it could even flip over your boat again because it does behave wild like a mad cow. It does flip and flap. If you don't careful, the marlin would juke you up and all kind of thing. I saw even instances where he pierced through a man's foot. It's really a nasty fish. So if that is the case, guys, they have some precautionary measures that have to be taken, and the fishermen, I'm sure they know that. And in cases, if you see that situation there, you might want to call for assistance, because if you have a small boat, you can't really no big marlin on a small boat, right? So these precautionary measures have to be taken. So that's the last instant that anyone seeing this vessel reported to Mikey Noel from over in Telescope. And he told me that earlier today. So we don't know. Yeah, man, I don't know if they call it a beak, Kibbs. I don't know if they call it a beak. But they call it it's long. It's straight like this and it's long and it could pierce, right? So I don't know if they call it a beak or whatever it is, but that thing long, if you get a chance, or when you get a chance, I want you to Google search marlin, and you go see that fish behave like somebody, like a mad cow. That's how we behave. Hey, Corey Bailey, how you doing? Yes, Corey, no problem. It's all yours. So, guys, I want you to call in right now because, again, we are reporting and waiting on reports from some of the search team that just came back or came back a little bit earlier in pursuit of these two young men that went missing. Mikey Noel, who is on the ground in Grenville, in the Telescope area, hopefully would give us a report. Hey, Natalie Ross. I'm talking a serious thing. I'm talking a serious thing. Yeah? I'm talking a serious thing. Right? So, as I was saying, Mikey and the team that is on pursuit, that have this information, hopefully will give us an update before the hour on any information that they have. So we want to be cautiously optimistic that everything will be fine. They're probably having some issues out there. They're probably having some engine issues or what have you. But again, more need to be done as it relates to having satellite, not mobile, not Wi-Fi connected tracking system, because Wi-Fi related tracking system, if you don't have Wi-Fi, if you don't have mobile access, then it don't make sense, right? It's done. But satellite, you know, you're always in contact with the satellite, and that could be tracked. I'm sure they have this thing, well, they do have this tracking system on bigger vessels and probably yachts, and these bigger vessels that goes out. But what happened to the small vessels, the small fishing vessels? Sometimes you have 2 or 3 guys who just went out to make a catch, to feed themselves and their family, to feed the nation, right? We have to protect them. We have to protect them. So even if you have to legislate this, guys, even if this have to be some kind of legislation and making it mandatory to have tracking system, satellite tracking system on these boats, I think it would definitely help. So we're waiting and trying to get update on this right here. Dylan said, I know when I used to be around them fishermen in Grenville, when boats going out, some of the times it is together. Don't know if it happens anymore. Again, oh boy, again, yeah, Corey Bailey, Corey, okay, it's yours, but keep me focused, Corey. 1, all you, and this is something I am going to champion, this is something I'm going to rally, this is something I'm not going to give up on, because I personally find that it is too often that I am here and we're trying to talk about or trying to isolate a particular area when the ocean is as big as, I mean, you can't pinpoint the ocean is too big. You can't say, well, you go scan the ocean. You can't say, well, you go, you know what I mean? You don't know. It's too big. It's a mass body of water. Now, case in point, look what happened. A helicopter crashed in Guyana just the other day. And they were able to find the location of that chopper, go in and rescue, although we had a few people that passed away, rest their soul. But they were able to isolate the crash site. And by isolating the crash site, they was able to rescue 2 or 3 people on the ground that was there. Right? Now, they have it for choppers. And sometimes chopper have 2 people in it, 3 people in it, them kind of choppers. Why isn't it mandatory for small vessels, fishing vessels? These people's lives are important too. And for the fisher folks, I want you guys to call in and talk to me, guys. The phone lines are wide open, 718-701-5720. It's a serious situation, guys, and we continue to monitor this. I'm going to try to call Mikey again and see if, I'm gonna try again and see, like, Junior, the experience. Okay, a friend of mine is telling me he had the experience with a mullen too, and he's saying that it was rough and serious fight. The mullen and them is not an easy fish, guys. I say if you catch a mullen and you're there by yourself, just let it go, because even when the mullen come on your boat, you might still have problems in isolating that mullen. The mullen bad like a mad cow. So we haven't gotten Mikey on the line as yet. People also ask what is EPIRB. Absolutely. All right, next message coming in also ask what is EPIRD. It's a part of the GMDSS. A vessel are required to carry certain equipment, including emergency position, indicated radio beacon, EPIRB, and two search and rescue transponders, SART. This is the equipment that is needed. Thanks for that information. Someone just sent me this. I appreciate that. I want to find out in these EPIRD and the GMDSS, all of these acronyms and equipment, are those equipment mandatory for small fishing vessels? Are those equipment mandatory? Are those equipment mandatory for those small fishing vessels? Because, guys, if that is the case, or if that were the case in the situation, this wouldn't be a situation where we're sitting here and we don't know what happened or what is happening or where we could possibly start to look or send a helicopter in the air. Because at this point, I'm sure that the Grenada Coast Guard is reaching out to neighboring islands like St. Vincent and the Grenadines, Trinidad and Tobago, St. Lucia, as far up as Venezuela, I'm sure. Lord have mercy. Hopefully they don't reach that far. But because the water rough, right? And I made a pass by, even in, we went up by the quarry in Telescope today, and the water is rough, right? The water is rough. The water, like some zombie in the water, right? So the current is just pushing and pushing and pushing. And if they don't have the ability, say they run out of gas or whatever it is, gosh, where we go send the helicopter to look? Where we go send the helicopter to look? It's not like you could just scan. I can't fly a drone. In fact, I did put a drone up in the air, and I said, hopefully, God, I could see something out there. But when the drone reached as far as you could go, it say you reach the maximum flying altitude and you can't go further. I couldn't go further with my little drone. And where I was that to look? Where? I don't know. Nobody knows. So if we have this little satellite technology that could isolate and identify a location of a small vessel, that is what is needed. Okay. I keep saying, you know what blows my mind about Grenada and the Grenadines? The same accident and incident happens over and over. And not a soul in authority could forward and say enough is enough and do something. Because you know why? Let me tell you this. People are too reactive and not proactive. In a lot of instances, Kariman, I'm happy that you brought that up. People are too reactive and not proactive. Now, if we are proactive, right? If we are proactive, we are saying, one, we know this is a possibility and this could happen. So don't wait for it to happen to now have every fishing vessel out there searching and wondering and pondering. You know, I'm making calls to people in St. Vincent and the Grenadines. I'm making calls to people in the neighboring St. Lucia, all over to try to find this fishing vessel that went missing with these two young men. But that would be something that we could have probably pinged and find out, okay, they are XYZ drifting, XYZ in XYZ speed, and they are moving and the altitude, we could have sent a helicopter. This is the lines of latitude. This is a specific location. They go on the rescue, search and rescue, and find these young men, bring them back to their families. Because the worst feeling that a family could have, the worst feeling, is not knowing what happened to your loved one. And you see, when outside is like this, it start getting dark outside, and a mother, a brother, a sister, a family member is in the house, and they don't know. Let me tell you, that's the absolute worst feeling that anyone, any parent, any person could go through. So again, guys, we are here. We are waiting for an update. Hopefully we get that update as soon as possible from the folks who are doing the search. And we are trying to find more information. Hold on, let me see if I'm getting this. We are trying to find more information on Marlene. All right, it's not Marlene, it's Marlene. All right, somebody corrected me here. Thank you for the correction. Yes. I have a friend. Hold on, let me just send this here. Hold on. Let me just send this here. I'm getting an update, guys. Let me see if this relates to... Let me see if this relates to what's happening now. Okay. All right. So again, guys, we are here and giving you update and information on this situation right now. We have the phone lines wide open because we want to keep hope alive. Last word by my father, keep hope alive. We want to keep the hope alive for some of the family members who are right now in distress. They are right now going through the motions of the unknown, severe unknown. And the unknown is, where is this two young men that left yesterday and is yet to return? Their names are, and I'm going to say it so you know it, and let us, let me pull that up again. Let me pull it up again, these young men and their names. They are Sean and Lyndon, two young men, both hailing from the parish of St. Andrew, Grenville area, to be exact. They have gone missing at sea, and their families, you could imagine, is very worried. And they have embarked on a search and rescue mission. Earlier today, guys, we did take our drones, and with the assistance of Mikey Noel and other friends, we were able to witness and fly over the area of Telescope and the surrounding area. We witnessed that high tides, rough seas, at least in this particular area. No, we are unaware. We are unaware what might possibly be the direction that they are heading, or they were heading, or they currently are in at the moment. It is difficult to comprehend that because I am not sure that these men, or that this ship, or that this small vessel, fishing vessel, was equipped with satellite technology for tracking and finding their location. That being said, guys, this information, all right, that being said, guys, this information is not confirmed as yet, because we could get a call in minutes and say that those guys are found, those guys are in Grenville, or those guys are with family. So as we speak at this moment, the time now is 7:37 p.m. on Wednesday, December the 13th. As we speak right at the moment, the information that we are obtaining is that they are not found as yet. But there is strong hopes that they will be found. Hopefully, we have a situation. All right, thank you. That was the big truck passing right behind me here, because we are outside here at our makeshift broadcast booth in St. George. We are awaiting any information that we could obtain at this point in time that would give at least some kind of reassurance to the, to the family that these young men are doing well. Now, we are calling and making an appeal to the folks in the neighboring islands. We're talking about St. Vincent and the Grenadines. We have tons of following, tons of support, tons of friends and families out there in St. Vincent and the Grenadines. So we are making an appeal to St. Vincent and the Grenadines and the folks in the neighboring islands to be on the lookout. Be on the lookout. You will do a hell of a good if you could help the neighboring island, Grenada, to bring these guys home safely. Now, last report that we found, Mikey Noel from Telescope, good friend of ours, we were there in Telescope earlier today, and he said to me that one of the fisher folk that was in the same vicinity fishing with these young men, they left them, and when they were leaving to head back, these young men were somehow translated to them that they was pulling in a marlin, all right, a fish that is known to be reckless, a fish that is known to mash up boat, sink boat, and do all sorts of damage. So that's what was translated to them as far as what Mikey, a local fisherman, a local community activist in Telescope, told us. Unconfirmed, however, but that's what the information that he was getting. Earlier today, a number of search crew was out and in pursuit, trying to find out and trying to catch at least as much information as possible. We are unaware at this very moment where these men are and what they or what situation they might be faced in at this point in time. Now, we don't know if, for instance, that they are out there. We don't know how many rations they actually packed to go out there, because nobody expects to be in a situation like this. But at the same time, even if you don't expect to be in a situation, you should at least prepare. Have some cricks and whatever, drinking water, certain amount of drinking water, have some backup fuel, which I'm sure is recommended by the fisher folks there in Grenville, because they do have mandatory things that I'm sure that is adhered to. We are not aware if they do what amount of assistance or what amount of backup they have, fuel, food, drinks, whatever. We're not aware, we don't know. And so we are just waiting on updates, and as it comes to us within that time frame, we are going to translate it to you. Someone just messaged and they said, Junior, I worked in marine industry for quite some time, and I know based on the law in Grenada, all registered fishing vessels have to be equipped with GPS among other safety devices in order to become registered. This person is also stating that many of the fishing vessels that operate are not registered, hence they do not have these devices. The person that just messaged me went on to say, there's a list of items that is given by the authorities when one wants to apply to be considered to be registered. I know of persons that got quote based on a list of items that is required, and when they see the pricing, they do not bother, hence they stay unregistered. No. That, my friends, ladies and gentlemen, is a problem. Here is something someone else told me, which is frightening, at least, to say the least, I should say. Now, I was told by a few colleagues, right? I don't know if that is the case, but a lot of times people they don't expect that they would ever be in a position or situation like this to run adrift, right? So during the process of registration, with that list that is mandatory and required to have, they might borrow some of the things from another boat. Yo, give me this, give me that, just to be registered, just to go through the process of registering. And then when you become registered, then you give back the person they this, and you give back the person they that, and you give back the person they the other, right? Now, that is a problem. That is a systemic problem. Because if that is the case, and you don't have your own stuff, and you just presented some equipment just to be registered, you're not being smart. You're not being conscious of the unknown and the things that could possibly happen to you while you're out there. So if the requirements are that you need to have certain GPS tracking device, because if, by God, if that was the case at this point in time, the rescue, search and rescue team, the Coast Guard, neighboring islands who partner with Grenada and the Marine very often would just go to that specific location because they would receive a ping from a specific part of the sea, and they would go to that location and they would find that where that ping coming from. They would be easier be able to assess that, find these young men and bring them back home. So you can't borrow thing. You can't go and borrow a GPS and say, yo, let me get that to go register my thing, and when I get it, I'll go bring it back for you. What stupidness is that? Eh? That don't make no kind of sense. And the people who borrowing them the thing, you have to think to yourself, right? Is that smart? That don't make no sense. Like, is that smart? What happens if you actually in a position, in a situation? I'm still trying to check on Mikey. As I said, these guys are active out there. So I'm pretty sure the reason why we're not getting Mikey Noel in Telescope is because he's probably in hot pursuit right now out there. He's probably searching and searching as well. But let me say this. If you are the person who is there's we saying that there are people in PM that is doing this. Listen, guys, listen. Let me be smart here. Right? Fishing folks and families of fishing folks, wives, girlfriends, mothers, brothers, sisters. If you know that you have a family member that is going out to sea, right? Every time they leave and you give them a hug and you give them a kiss, you have to hold them tight and give them a tight squeeze because you don't know the unknown when they're out there. You don't know, right? So husbands, wives, girlfriends, sisters, whoever. If you have a family member that go out to sea, to fish, to bring back, take care of the family, please make sure that they have the necessary gears so that if for some whatever misfortune happens, that they could be located. You can't tell me you'll feel comfortable, a mother, a brother, or what have you. You can't tell me that you will feel comfortable knowing that your son is going out there to fish when there is just above the you know, when you go out a little bit, there are pirates out there, right? Sometimes I've even heard that they may rob your gas. They may do certain thing to you. So they rob your gas, you run out of gas, your engine cut off, they may leave you there, right? And next thing you start to drift. For days you're drifting. You don't have no transponder. You don't have no thing. Oh, you have a cell phone, but a cell phone is no good. Your cell phone is no good because you ain't getting no Digicel out there, and no Digicel terminal port out there. The line, nothing is out there. So forget that. Right? You could tell me that you're comfortable kissing your husband or your boyfriend and say, oh yeah, baby, when you come back, I'll have breakfast for you. You don't know if you're coming back. So you be the responsible one then. If they decide not to be the responsible one and they want to borrow thing from Charlie, borrow thing from this one to get registered, and they're going out there and like that fisherman, I don't worry about that, a fisherman. You know what I mean? Some men could be arrogant. I know. Right? So we as men, we could be arrogant and we could be hard-headed and I take that. But wives and girlfriends, you be the conscience. You be the conscience one and say, listen to me. I don't allowing you to go out there. The next thing you cut off, where they go look for you? Where we come in and look for you? You understand what I'm saying? You understand what I'm saying? All right. Not too long, someone posted not too long ago, 2 fishermen from Grenville went missing, and it happened again. Lord help. Yes. That was saying. I tell you, the last time that thing happened, and I remember going in Grenville, sitting by the fish market, and the father, I sat right next to the father, and the father just there, and the father is a fisherman as well, and he's just sitting there, and let that man, you could see sleep in that man's eye. That man just there, and that man just there. And I'm talking to him, and the man just getting real vibes because his son is out there, and as much as he go out and look, he come back, he don't find him. And to this very sad day, ladies and gentlemen, this last time where the 2 boys went out there, never to be found. To this day, nobody found them. Nobody don't know where they're found. We don't know if they boat flipped over. We don't know if the engine cut off and they just drift and 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 drift. And they probably both still somewhere out there drifting still. But how long could a human being survive for without the proper, food and water and this type of in the elements? Oftentimes, not for long, right? And it happens again. It happened again because we are here. We are talking about the same thing. This is deja vu. This is a replica of what we saw just months ago. And if we don't fix this, right? Because again, I take back a little bit what I said there, because even if this is legislated, even if we say there are legislations that would prevent situation from, or not prevent, that would at least legally charge someone if they don't have the necessary equipment. There are legislation. But people don't listen to all the legislation sometimes. They still try to go around the legislation, as this person who just wrote in and say they're in Marine and they understand the dynamics of it. And oftentimes people, I read what she said again. Oftentimes, all right, somebody send me a copy of the boat. So I'm gonna show you guys the boat. I'm gonna show you guys the boat. Let me try to pull it up. I'm gonna show you guys the boat. Because I have my people working for me, and my people that's working, they're sending me footage, and we're doing all of this stuff here, guys, just so that we could help. We could pull that in there. So let me, Lord. So let me see if I could pull in the boat this way. All right. So this is okay, you can't see it. Let me try checking it. So if you guys see this vessel anywhere, you know that this vessel that we're talking about. Stand by. Bear with me. All right, so this is the vessel, guys. We had that thing finish so quick. All right, hold on. So you guys would just take a look at it. Not in action though, because they're very short. All right, let me pause it. All right, pause it. All right, there it goes. So that's the vessel, guys. See that little boat? You see that little boat? That's allegedly, there's a small vessel. Allegedly, that's the small vessel that we're talking about. See how small that thing is? And if what Mikey Noel was talking about, if it is true that they're trying to pull in a mullen on that vessel, knowing how the boat does, how the fish does get on. The fish that get on, right? The way our sister Mullen does behave, they could flip that boat. He could flip that boat. And I'm not saying that that's what happened, but I'm just saying, I ain't trying to bring any gloom and doom scenario here. Those are skilled fishermen. You know, even if that happened, they probably could, you know, take care of themselves because they're probably good swimmers and all that stuff. And it brings in another thing, guys. Another crazy thought, right? In terms of registering these vessels, what about having life gears? Because if you have on like vests, right, life vests, I mean, we all are human. Everybody could swim to a point. I mean, you could swim until you get tired. And when current pushing you a certain way, there are these life vests, guys, that, you know, you have whistle on it, you have a light on it, so at least you could possibly, because the ocean is a vast and big place, possibly you could get the attention of somebody. Were they equipped with vests? Yeah? So, you see, guys, you see, I hate coming in on Ride Along and reporting these stories, eh? I hate coming on Ride Along and reporting these stories, and I know the parents are watching this, they're probably watching this, and they are hoping and wishing for the best. But it's just not. All right, someone is messaging me on all right, so someone just sent me this information. Some of the fishermen believe that the AIS, or the Automatic Identification System tracking, will be monitoring system for law enforcement instead of safety and rescue tool. All right, so the person said, don't mention the name, please and thank you. Those are ones that aren't fishers, but are involved in other activities. And again, that person wished not to be mentioned. I'm not saying in any way that that is the case, that they might involve in other activities. And I don't want to put that out there either. The person is also saying really quickly that a number of these fishers do not register their boat. If the boat does not have a number starting with J3, therefore it isn't registered nor licensed. So let's see, they did have a registered J3. I can't see from the vantage point that was provided here. So Mikey is Mikey Noel, he is like the mayor of Telescope. He is somewhere on the ground, guys. He's probably out in the water still. If for any reason we cannot get Mikey on the program at this point in time, I promise you that as soon as we get Mikey, we are going to publish his findings on Ride Along Live, whether we are live or not. All right, so the reports again is that the guys went out to fish and the boat is legally registered. Thank you so much. And we're getting all of this stuff in real time, and we will continue to update everyone here. Again, guys, to close, we are talking about and reporting on a situation and keeping the phone lines open so you could call 718-701-5720. Where is these two young men at this point in time? This is significantly worrisome because this is the second instant in a matter of within a year where we have two young men going out to sea, and you know, the first instant they were never found. Up to this time, they was never found. The family never heard back from them. There was nothing happened. Now we're reporting on two young men, Sean and Lyndon, both hail from the St. Andrew area. They have gone missing at sea. Their families, as you well could imagine, is worried, to say the least. about them at this point in time. We are not aware, nor could we confirm, that these young men have on their person a GPS tracking device, which is a satellite GPS tracking device. We cannot confirm that that is the case because we just simply don't know. But I am saying that if that were the case, if that was in fact the case, then it would have been easy to ping a signal so that the Coast Guard and the search and rescue teams that's out there in Grenville, they would be able, their job would be much easier at this point in time. Earlier today, we did camera drones over to Grenville area to just look at the tides and the swing of the sea. And what we witnessed, guys, the sea was pretty rough, pretty high tides, rough. That has obviously been a situation that's impact, as folks might say, that rough sea has been impacting the Telescope Beach area, where this place started to look almost unrecognizable. You can't even really tell because the sea as we know it, or the beach as we know it, used to be further back from where it is right now. So a lot of erosion taking place. That's a whole other story, a whole other ride along. But what we witnessed today, as you can see, the tides were high today, rough action on the sea, and this was just witnessed by our drones earlier this morning. Where are these young men? We simply don't know. The families, as I said, are, you well could imagine, is worried. And we are going to continue to try our best as possible to keep everyone updated on the situation here. Our friend Mikey Noel, who is like the mayor of Telescope and friends of these young men, he dispatched with the teams there in Grenville and of course the fisher folks there in the Grenville area, dispatch out such teams. We are not aware what was found, but absolutely rest assured that Ride Along will stay on top of this. We are locally here in Grenada, so it's very easy for us to go down to Grenville tomorrow and speak to some of the members there of the fishing fraternity as to the protocol and what we could expect in this particular time. But I remember the last time it happened, and I went to Grenville, and everyone was watching me just like I was watching them, and nobody could tell me nothing. Like they don't know. The father was there scratching his head, he don't know, and people just was like, they don't know what's happening, right? We can't afford to have this situation happening again and happening again and happening again, and we have to somehow squeeze the neck or cut the neck of the snake that continue to allow for those vessels to not have the proper equipment when they're going out at sea. Even if it means that mothers and sisters and wives and girlfriends have to be the monitor for that action and make sure that your boyfriend, your husband don't go out at sea without the proper equipment, because baby, I want you to come back and I want you to be with me, and I want to make sure that you're safe. So make sure that you have what it takes. Even if you have to come from that perspective, it needs to be done to ensure that safety prevails. We are too much of a reactive society. We need to be proactive. We need to put things in place for when things happen, not try to figure out what to do after the fact, right? Because right now we are spinning top in mud, trying to find out which part of the ocean those young men would be. It would be a very joyous moment when and if we get the reports that these young men were safe and sound and they're back in Grenville, in St. Andrew with their family. We'll be the first to update you guys on that. Now, it doesn't seem like we'll get Mikey on within this hour right here, but I promise you guys that we will continue to update this, even if I have to do a breaking report coming up later tonight or even early tomorrow. We are fixated on giving you updates minute by minute, confirmed reports. Now, there are many, and there will be many, as were the last time, reports that is suited for the garbage. Like people would say things, like people might even put out things and say, yes, they were found. People might put out things and yes, they by whatever, they by the police station, whatever. We urge you, and we are, well, you know our track record. We are going to continue to be responsible in our syndication of information regarding this, because we understand that the family and their emotions is at stake right now. So we will continue to be very responsible in our syndication of information, and you could keep it locked right here. Some people are not as responsible, all right? So you might see things out in other media outfits, but we urge you that when something is publicized, published on this platform right here, we have a handle, and we would check the list once, check it twice, and check it at a third time, sometimes a fourth time, to make sure that the information is absolutely correct. So when we publish something, there is no going back and trying to, rewrite anything. It will be the fact. So keep it locked right here to Ride Along Live, and we're going to continue to update everyone on this breaking news with these two young men that are out at sea. Let's take a quick break. I'll come back with closing words. We'll be right back.
Wow, it's Instacash Grenada. Imagine a game with no numbers to choose from, no draws to wait on, and you can play it every day, including Sunday. That's Instacash. It's fast, it's easy to play, and you win prizes instantly. Instacash. Must be 18 years or older to play. NLA, making dreams come true.
Guys, let me tell you this really quickly. Flying to Grenada, if you're flying to Grenada, between the dates of December 18th to December 23rd, right? December 18th to December 23rd, leaving on December 18th, return on the 23rd, 2023, JetBlue has a remarkable flight, direct flight from JFK. Now, you depart New York to JFK at 7 a.m. and you arrive in Grenada at 12:30. But let me tell you, wink your eyes so you get up here in Grenada already, right? Let's put it like that. Not even a sleep and a wake. A half wink and a half wake, you reach in Grenada already. All right, the cost is $595 basic fare. And again, you leave Grenada for at 2:16 p.m. and you arrive back in JFK at 6:30 p.m. So that's return $593. Hey, big up to JetBlue, man. Big up to JetBlue. Listen, JetBlue, guys. You don't even need to go to a travel agent, Just check jetblue.com and sort out. Now, there's a night flight. There's a night flight on that same day. Depart JFK at 8 p.m., right? 8 p.m. And you arrive in Grenada at 1:47 a.m., And the cost of that flight is $595. And in return, you leave Grenada at 3 a.m. and you arrive back in New York at 7:06 a.m. So, again, that's December 18th to December 23rd, right? All you feel tempted? You feel tempted? You know what I go do? I go show you a Julie Mango, because don't feel like you're a Julie Mango down here yet, The trees and them start to load up with Julie Mango already, and somebody brought me some Julie Mangoes. So, even if you had to come and suck, sorry, not suck a Julie Mango only, but get some fruitcake. Fruitcake, they about the place. Yeah. Book your flight and come along to Grenada right now. JetBlue. And of course, guys, if you're in Boston or anywhere close to Boston, there is a direct flight to Grenada on Saturdays. Direct flight to Grenada on Saturdays. JetBlue. What they say, but GTA, big up to the GTA, giving you that great additional flight and promoting additional flights from JFK to New York City.
The Ministry of Tourism and Economic Development and the Grenada Tourism Authority extend a warm welcome to visitors and returning nationals visiting for Carnival and summer vacation. We do hope you enjoy your stay with us, and we invite you to return with friends and family to celebrate our 50th anniversary of independence on 7th February 2024. Tourism is my business, your business, our business.
I want you folks to play these 3 games from the NLA. Daily pick 3 cash flow and play with. You will be supporting sports and culture, nation building and our future. So go out and play, folks, make it a must. You will see what the National Lottery is doing for us. When you play pick 3 cash flow and play with, the NLA will support you all the way.
Starting September 30th, Monday to Friday, these 3 games will be drawn mid-morning, 9:45 a.m., midday, 12:45 p.m., and evenings, 7:45 p.m. The National Lotteries, supporting sports, culture, and nation building.
Sunday money.
Now, are you ready for an exhilarating adventure? Then look no further than Ride Excursions and Tours. Get ready to explore the great outdoors like never before with our powerful e-bikes. Discover breathtaking sightseeing tours around the island. Feel the wind in your hair and experience nature in its purest form. Now, whether you're a seasoned rider or a beginner, our e-bikes are perfect for everyone. Call us at 473-422-1011 to book your excursion or visit ridersebikes.com. That's ridersebike.com to reserve your spot. Unleash your adventurous spirit with Ride Excursions and Tours, where every journey becomes an unforgettable adventure.
Grenada! Get ready for something new as Project 413 presents North Pole Festival of Lights.
It's Festival of Lights, the official launch.
Come here, my baby. Come, let me show you nice.
Saturday, December 9th, the Breakwater Project in Sates will be lit. We're lighting up the Breakwater Project. The lights will be on from 6:30 p.m. and runs every night for the entire month. Come enjoy the amazing light show together with live performance by Boise, Valine, Crabe, Lunispark, Electrify, and more.
Come enjoy the Octane Band and the Alpha 1 Band.
Showtime 9 p.m. Admission only $25. Weekdays absolutely free. The lights will be on display every night and there will be live performances every weekend.
Festival of Lights, the official launch.
Saturday, December 9th, the Breakwater Beach, Downtown Sates. See you there.
Wow, it's Instacash Grenada. Imagine a game with no numbers to choose from, no draws to wait on, and you can play it every day, including Sunday. That's Instacash. It's fast, it's easy to play, and you win prizes instantly. Instacash. Must be 18 years or older to play. NLA. Making dreams come true.
All right, guys, as we say, we're going to keep you guys updated on the latest on this particular story. Again, we are wishing and sending out our prayers for the safe return of these 2 young men in Grenville. Keep it locked right along live as we continue to bring you all the updates here on this platform throughout the night, throughout the day. Whenever something breaks and we could confirm it, you'll see it here first. Good night, guys. Thanks for watching.